Presented by E3 Spark Plugs, born to burn.
The Monster Truck Thunder Drags head into their final event of the season at the historic Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, Indiana. The event hasn't even started, and already the drivers are heading onto the track to discuss changes to the track that they deem necessary. So here you see the drivers and the construction crew working on some of the angles on the ramps. We'll have to see how that plays into the rest of the afternoon. We're getting ready to meet the field of trucks. The show is getting started. Let's meet them right now. First up, it's Heavy Hitter with Derek Anson. River Rat, driven by Steve Snellen. Bigfoot, piloted by Dan Runte. The second Bigfoot in the lineup, the Hubler Bigfoot, Larry Swim. Mark Hall in the 2013 champion Raminator. Matt Dishman in the Rammunition. Mike Miller in the Hotsy Raminator. Joe Nichter in the General. Chalkboard Chuck, driven by Brian Kenny. The XDP diesel truck, driven by Dave Ramirez. Star Marshal, driven by Cody Holman. And Lucas Oil Stabilizer, driven by Bobby Holman. Moving straight into event action, we're moving into racing. Round 1 racing, Raminator versus the General. A complex twisting and turning track. Mark Hall is going to take the first victory of round 1. We've got a special on board with Larry Swim in the Hubler Bigfoot. We're going to ride along with him throughout the day. Right now he's pairing up against XDP, Dave Ramirez. And XDP is dead in the water. Because of that, we're going to ride along with Larry Swim. We're going to see what he sees as he pilots the Hubler Bigfoot around the course to the victory. And there you see it. Swim completes the lap, and he'll move into the second round. Pair brings the Hotsy Raminator to the line against the Heavy Hitter. Anson in the Heavy Hitter having issues around that first turn. That's probably going to give the win to Mike Miller in the Hotsy Raminator, but this is a long track. We'll have to see. Indeed, Miller in the Hotsy Raminator will take an easy victory in round 1. Next up, we've got Lucas Oil Stabilizer facing off against the River Rat. Snellen with a little bit of a problem for that first turn. Still looking good. Looks like Holman is in the lead though in the background. That little mistake in the first turn was enough to cost the River Rat the victory, and the Lucas Oil Stabilizer, driven by Bobby Holman, will move into round number 2. The Star Marshal now faces off against the Rammunition. The young Cody Holman in the Star Marshal taking on Matt Dishman, a seasoned veteran at this point. He's been behind the wheel for several years now. That big, powerful Ram always does wonders. final turn. Holman with a commanding victory. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We're hearing that Star Marshal has been disqualified. Apparently, he took the wrong line down that final straightaway.
That close.
Super
Just that
Chief,
little sharper, I'd have been fine.
Nothing wrong with
I'm
the
like,
Rammunition truck. They'll get it right
I
in time.
forget
Just a
something.
little
like, I think I was supposed to go around the other side.
body
Oh,
work
wait,
that
that's
they'll
right.
get taken care of there.
That's something you'll kick yourself over, but Holman will learn and he'll be back. Right now, though, Chalkboard Chuck facing off against Dan Runte in the Summit Bigfoot. Runte well out in the lead. We'll have to see if he can continue that through the rest of the track. Everybody seems to be struggling with this asphalt and dirt combination. Really seems to be posing an issue for the driver. Dan Runte will move into the next round. Heading into round number 2, getting straight into the action. It's a big matchup. Larry Swim in the Hubler Bigfoot against Mark Hall in the Raminator. Hall's already won the 2013 championship, but Larry Swim is going to see if he can rain on his parade. They're pretty close. And Mark Hall takes the victory. Hotsy Raminator facing off against Lucas Oil Stabilizer. They're off, but Holman, the engine sounds a little ragged, but he is out in the lead on the Hotsy Raminator. Right there, it looks like the Lucas Oil Stabilizer finally gave up, and the Hotsy Raminator will move into the next round. An unfortunate break for Bobby Holman and the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Another huge matchup. It's always big when the Rams face off against the Bigfoot crew. Right now, it's Summit Bigfoot facing off against Matt Dishman and the Rammunition. They're into the final turn. Summit Bigfoot. Dan Runte's got a little bit of a lead. And Bigfoot will head to the next round. Moving into semi-final action. We're racing and it's a team matchup. This could be quite the showdown. Raminator, Mark Hall versus the Hotsy Raminator, Mike Miller. Careful out on that dusty gravel out there to make sure he doesn't spin out the truck, and pours on the ram power, and he heads to the finals. We've got another team matchup. The Bigfoot trucks are facing off. Hubler Bigfoot, Larry Swim, Summit Bigfoot, Dan Runte, so two trophy truck bodies. One's a Ford, one's a Chevy, and it's going to be a battle. They're neck and neck. It's going to be a throwdown. Dan Runte takes the victory in the end. It's racing finals time, and boy, have we got a huge matchup. It's Mark Hall, the Raminator, the 2013 champion, against Dan Runte in the Summit Bigfoot. These guys have battled many times, and this will be a showdown to end all showdowns. Hall's out in the lead a little bit right now. Runte's really going to have to pour it on if he wants the victory. Into the final turn. Hall is in trouble. Hall in trouble. And Dan Runte. Oh no, that is a close race. I thought Runte had it. We're going to take a look back. We'll have to see what the camera shows because it ended up being a close one there at the end. Hall is in big trouble, but he didn't give up, stayed after it. Wow, right there you see it. Dan Runte in the Bigfoot just by inches. Hall may have even been a little bit out of bounds there, but Dan Runte takes our victory in racing. We're moving into freestyle action and kicking it off. It's Joe Nichter in the general and Chalkboard Chuck, Brian Kenny. How about that? Dual freestyles on this big Indianapolis competition space. Nichter has wadded up the general as you see parts and pieces hanging down underneath the truck. That'll end their freestyle, and we'll send out the next pair, the Hotsy Raminator and the XDP Diesel, driven by Dave Ranzirez. Dave Ranzirez starting out big, making his first hit, the ramp-to-ramp jump. He landed on a big old cushion there and made that look pretty easy. There he high-sides just a little bit. That big diesel belching smoke everywhere, but Ranzirez really attacking the track. Ranzirez in the XDP, more huge air. This guy is after it. But there you see the Hotsy Raminator, problems on the rear of the truck. That's probably going to mark the end of this freestyle. And indeed, now we're sending out the father-son team, the Lucas Oil Stabilizer, and Cody Holman in the Star Marshal. I hear that Bobby Holman has had some issues with the stabilizer, and he is pulling off the track. Cody Holman and the Star Marshal staying after it. He's going to continue to put on a show for these fans in Indianapolis. He's making a big swing. He's heading for the big jump in the middle. Huge air for Cody Holman. He cleared it easily. This kid is young in the seat, but he is really developing well. There you see Father Bobby Holman cheering on the son. He's proud of his boy, and he is doing a great job in the seat of that Star Marshal. He slides to a stop in front of the crowd at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Moving to our next pair, it's the teammate trucks out of Louisville, Kentucky, the River Rat, Steve Snellen, and heavy hitter Derek Anson. Big swing too, he's heading on it hard. Look at that! Huge air for Anson in the heavy hitter. Easily the biggest air we have seen all day long. And he rounds it straight into a donut. Anson putting on a spectacular show for his Indianapolis crowd. Guys from Louisville out here doing a phenomenal job. The River Rat and heavy hitter. What a huge moment as Anson salutes the crowd. We're moving to our final pair of freestyle. It's big and it's blue and it's a pair of big feet on the track. The Summit Bigfoot Dan Runte and the Hubler Bigfoot, sponsored by a local automotive dealership. That Bigfoot driven by Larry Swim. Hubler Bigfoot actually running a Chevy trophy truck body. The Bigfoot trucks are known for being Fords throughout the year. This Bigfoot is a Chevy, but it's Chevy through and through. It's not just livery. It's Chevy engine, Chevy body, it's Chevy through and through. Attacking the center stack and making it look easy. The teammate following, Larry Swim, making it look easy as well. The Bigfoot boys out on the floor of the Indiana State Fairgrounds, really working on the track, on the trucks, and carrying spectacular momentum. These guys are doing a great job. That's going to round out the freestyle run for the Bigfoot team, let's backtrack and take a look at some of the onboard footage from Larry Swim's Hubler Bigfoot. Spectacular to see exactly what the drivers see and what these trucks are going through, and the Bigfoot team making it possible, riding along with Larry Swim. That concludes another episode of Action Tracks. We've had a wild time here in Indianapolis. Some great racing action, some huge freestyle moments, and we hope you've enjoyed because we've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on Action Tracks.